Welcome to a new episode of The Genius. On March 8, 2014, at 12:42 a.m., a Malaysian Airlines flight took off. On board were 227 passengers and 12 crew members, making a total of 239 people. The plane, a Boeing 777, departed from Kuala Lumpur Airport in Malaysia and was heading to Beijing, China. Normally, this flight takes about 6 hours. During the flight, passengers would typically be sleeping or watching movies, expecting to arrive in Beijing the next morning. The plane was in contact with Malaysian air traffic control, ensuring safe travel. Air traffic systems track planes in real time, monitoring flight numbers, speeds, and altitudes to avoid collisions. Controllers guide planes safely along designated routes. 10 minutes after takeoff, the Malaysian air traffic control cleared the plane to ascend to 35,000 feet, the cruising altitude for the journey. Everything seemed normal as the plane followed its route toward Beijing. However, as the flight neared Vietnamese airspace, Malaysian controllers prepared to hand over communication to their Vietnamese counterparts. At this point, the captain responded to Malaysian controllers, saying, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Unfortunately, this was the last communication from the plane. Shortly after, the aircraft disappeared from radar screens. When Vietnamese air traffic controllers couldn't establish contact, they called their Malaysian counterparts to report that the plane hadn't entered their airspace. Initially, officials thought the plane might have encountered minor technical issues or made an emergency landing. However, routine updates from the plane, sent every 30 minutes, also stopped. This raised alarm. Efforts to contact the plane using all available frequencies failed, and nearby planes couldn't establish communication either. The situation grew increasingly concerning. Investigators began ruling out minor technical problems and started considering major issues, such as a power failure, fire, or catastrophic damage to the plane. Malaysian Airlines decided to wait until the plane's scheduled landing time in Beijing at 6:30 a.m. before making any announcements. Unfortunately, the plane did not arrive. By 7:30 a.m., the airline held a press conference to announce the disappearance of flight MH370. Search and rescue operations began in the South China Sea, as this was the last known location of the aircraft. At first, it was believed the plane crashed suddenly in the South China Sea. But as investigations unfolded, military radar showed that after losing communication, the plane made an abrupt U-turn, flying west toward the Andaman Sea near Indonesia. This change in direction was not part of the original flight plan. It seemed intentional, as the plane avoided entering Thai and Indonesian airspace, staying within Malaysian airspace as long as possible before disappearing from all radar. Further analysis revealed that the plane continued flying for up to 6 hours after losing contact. This meant it could have traveled thousands of kilometers from its last known position. The mystery deepened, as no debris or wreckage was found in the areas initially searched. Investigators proposed various theories. Could it have been a technical failure, an onboard fire, or even an act of terrorism? Evidence suggested deliberate actions. Communication systems were manually turned off, the plane changed course abruptly, and it avoided radar detection. The plane's satellite communication system briefly reconnected after losing power, sending a handshake signal to a satellite. This confirmed that the aircraft was still flying but didn't provide precise location details. With 6 hours of fuel remaining, the plane could have reached numerous locations, but no one knew where it went. To this day, MH370 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. Over a decade later, we still don't know what happened to the plane, its passengers, or its crew. When the satellite detected the Malaysian plane, it only received short signals called pings. These pings didn't include detailed information about the plane's location or path, but they confirmed the plane was still flying. Investigators used these signals to estimate the general area where the plane could have flown based on the time between pings. From analyzing the pings, it was discovered that the plane went toward the Indian Ocean, far from its original route. This area is massive, with deep waters that can reach thousands of meters. Search teams from many countries started looking in the southern Indian Ocean. Ships, planes, and advanced equipment were used, including underwater robots, to scan the ocean floor. For weeks, they searched but found no clear signs of the plane. Some experts think a sudden technical problem might have caused the crash. Others believe the pilot or co-pilot may have deliberately changed the plane's route. Another theory is that someone hijacked the plane and forced it to go off course. There's also the possibility of a completely unknown event, like a fire or explosion, that caused the disaster. In 2015, debris from the plane started washing up on beaches in the western Indian Ocean. This confirmed the plane crashed somewhere in the ocean, but the exact location of the main wreckage remains unknown. Even after 10 years, MH370's disappearance is still one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. Despite advanced technology and global efforts, no one knows exactly what happened to the plane or its passengers. It's a mystery that continues to haunt families, investigators, and the world. Although parts of the plane have been found, the full story of what happened to MH370 remains a mystery. Families of the 239 passengers and crew are still waiting for answers. Many feel the search efforts were not enough, while others hope that new technology in the future may finally uncover the truth. Theories continue to emerge, but no conclusive evidence has been found to confirm any of them. Some believe the pilot intentionally diverted the plane, others think there was a sudden catastrophic failure, and some suggest the possibility of hijacking or a previously unknown issue. Over time, the mystery of MH370 has raised questions about aviation safety and tracking. Efforts have been made to improve how planes are monitored, especially in remote areas. New systems are being developed to ensure that no aircraft can completely disappear again. Despite these efforts, MH370's story serves as a reminder of the vast, unpredictable nature of our world and the limits of our current technology. It's a tragedy that has left the families of those on board in grief and the world searching for answers that may never come. For now, MH370 remains an unsolved mystery, a symbol of loss, and a challenge to the aviation industry to ensure such an event doesn't happen again. I came here because I wanted to talk to you about some thoughts I have been thinking about recently. For a long time, I have been feeling anxious about a lot of things, and honestly, I haven't been able to figure out the main reason for this feeling. This sometimes makes me feel uncomfortable. I was trying to figure out if it's something that comes from outside or if it is something internal, but I haven't figured it out yet. One of the main reasons I started looking for help with this situation is that I didn't want this anxiety to take over my life or affect the people around me. I know that it's normal to feel anxious or stressed sometimes, but I don't want it to become a bigger problem, and I don't want it to control my decisions. I came here because I want to understand why I'm feeling this way and what I can do to stop it. Something that has helped me understand my feelings is talking to someone about it. It might not solve everything, but it's good to know that someone is listening to me. This is why I wanted to talk to you. Sometimes, just expressing my thoughts helps clear my mind and helps me focus on things I can control. I feel like I need some advice on how to manage my feelings. I know I can't change everything, but maybe I can work on changing how I respond to things that make me anxious. At the same time, I also have moments where I feel like I don't have any control over my life, and that makes me feel stuck. Sometimes I wonder if I'm really doing the right things, or if I should change my approach to life. I don't want to keep feeling like this. I feel like I am in a loop of anxiety that doesn't stop. It affects how I sleep, how I feel during the day, and even how I interact with others. I want to break out of this cycle, but I'm not sure where to begin. Maybe by talking to you, I can find some solutions or at least a way to start feeling better. One of the things I realized is that I often worry about things I can't control, and this adds to my stress. It's like I'm spending all my energy on things that don't really matter or things I can't change. I know I need to stop focusing on those things and start looking for solutions to the things that I can change. I am starting to learn that I don't need to have all the answers, and I don't need to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters is how I handle those mistakes and learn from them. To summarize, I came here because I wanted to understand more about my feelings. I'm hoping that by talking to someone, I can learn how to deal with my anxiety better. I know that it won't go away overnight, but I am ready to take the first steps toward feeling better. I also feel like I'm always busy, but I'm not always sure that I'm using my time well. I sometimes wonder if I am working hard on the right things, or if I am just distracting myself from the bigger problems that I should be dealing with. I think I need to change how I spend my time, and I want to focus more on what really matters. But it's hard because I'm used to being busy and moving quickly. Sometimes I feel like I don't have time to think or to relax. I just keep going, even when I feel tired. I want to learn how to slow down and be more focused on the present, and not just on what's coming next. It's important to take some time to relax and think about things more clearly. One of the things that I've been thinking about lately is how I interact with the people around me. I sometimes wonder if I am being fair or if I'm just reacting to things without really thinking about them. I know that I can improve my relationships by listening more and being more understanding of others. I want to be more patient with the people I care about, and I also want to be more patient with myself. Sometimes I feel like I am too hard on myself, and I need to give myself a break. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to take time to learn from them. Finally, I know that it's important to focus on the positive things in life. Even though I sometimes feel anxious or stressed, I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a lot of good things in my life, and I want to spend more time appreciating them. By focusing on the good things, I think I can feel less anxious and more at peace with myself. I know that life isn't always easy, but I can learn to accept it and handle it in a healthier way. I've been thinking a lot about my goals and what I want to achieve in the future. Sometimes it feels like I'm not moving forward fast enough, and that makes me feel frustrated. But I also know that progress takes time and patience. I want to make sure that the goals I am working toward are really meaningful to me. Sometimes I get caught up in what I think I should be doing, instead of what I truly want to do. I hope to spend more time reflecting on my true desires and creating a plan that fits with my values. One of the biggest challenges I face is balancing my work and personal life. It's hard to give both areas the attention they deserve. Sometimes I feel like I'm neglecting one while focusing too much on the other. I want to find a better balance, where I can be present at work and also enjoy my time with family and friends without feeling guilty about it. I believe that when I am able to achieve that balance, I will feel more fulfilled and less stressed. I also think it's important to take care of my health, both physically and mentally. I know that I can do better in this area, especially when it comes to exercising regularly and eating well. It's easy to forget about my health when I'm busy with everything else, but I know that if I take better care of myself, I will feel more energized and able to take on challenges. I want to set a routine that includes time for exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation, so I can stay strong and focused. Another thing I've been working on is becoming more self-aware. I want to understand my feelings and reactions better, so I can make better decisions and improve my relationships. I know that being more aware of myself will help me make choices that align with my true values. It's not always easy, but I'm trying to be more mindful and open to growth. I believe that this will help me become a better person and make more positive changes in my life. I'm learning that it's okay to ask for help when I need it. Sometimes I try to do everything on my own, but I've realized that there's no shame in reaching out to others for support. Whether it's for emotional support or advice, talking to people I trust helps me see things from different perspectives. I'm working on being more open to help and not feeling like I have to do everything myself. Lastly, I want to make sure that I am living a life full of purpose. I don't want to get caught up in the day-to-day grind without thinking about why I'm doing it. I want to remember why I started pursuing my goals and what kind of person I want to be in the future. Living with purpose will help me stay motivated and remind me that every small action I take can bring me closer to becoming the person I want to be.